Hello and welcome to Southeast News on Igbo Area TV, where we tell you the story of our land, the truth, the pain, the pride and the progress of Southeast. Story 1. National Unity. Igbos, very hospitable people. Hausa Yoruba communities in Enugu say so. In Enugu, people of different tribes live together like one big family. Members of the Hausa and Yoruba communities say the Igbo are very accommodating, kind, and open-hearted. One of them, Oba Adebayo Olatunji, came to Enugu in 1979, that's 46 years ago. He said he's never faced discrimination in his own words. I wouldn't have lived here for over 40 years if the Igbos were bad people. He married to an Igbo woman from Nsukka, and his first child, born in Enugu, bears the name Uzodimma, meaning my coming has brought me good fortune. Similarly, Alhaji Abubakar Sambo, the Sarkin Hausawa of Enugu, says he was born and raised in Enugu, and he now serves as a senior special advisor to Governor Peter Mba. He says, we move together, play together, eat together. Enugu people are our brothers. And from Ogun State, Chief Tayo Adenaike, who first came to Enugu in 1974 for school, said the people once told him, don't go to Igbo land, they eat people. He came, and after 51 years, he's still there, married to an Igbo woman, loved by his community, and even given a chieftaincy title. One need the number, a brother in a foreign land. Wow. I hope the Lagosians are seeing this. I hope people from different parts of the world are seeing this news. This story might sound simple, but it is very deep. Because at a time when Nigeria is divided along ethnic and religious lines, when the word tribe has become a weapon, Enugu stand out as an example of unity and peace. Enugu standing for Igbo land. For years, some people tried to paint the Igbo man as arrogant, intolerant, and unwilling to mix with others. But stories like this prove that the Igbo spirit is actually one of openness. Actually, n'eziokwu onwe ndị na-anabata ndị mmadụ ka ndị Igbo, mana ndị Igbo pụọ outside jegasị ebe ndị ọzọ etu esi eme ha dịka. Let's tell ourselves the truth. The Igbos are everywhere in Nigeria. From Lagos to Sokoto, they live, they work, and they prosper among others. But how many non-Igbos can boldly say they have lived in the East for over 4 decades, married here and raised children here, and were fully accepted? That's what makes this story powerful. The lesson here is that peace does not come from government policies. It comes from people who choose to love beyond tribe and religion. The Yoruba Oba of Enugu, the Hausa Serki, and the many others living happily among the Igbos show that the Southeast, the Igbo land, is not what the media sometimes portray. I have been in several arguments and discussions. You hear people, don't go to Igbo land, or they eat people. You cannot buy shop in their midst. No, you can actually have shop in the midst of Igbo traders if you can compete well. So we hear all sorts of evil stories about Igbo. Stories that are not true. But the people who live in Igbo land, other ethnicities who live in Igbo land, they are the ones that can tell you, Igbo land is the best place to stay. People live in Igbo land. Igbo land welcomes visitors so much. Yes, they welcome visitors more than every other person. More than the attention they give to visitors is more than they give to their people. And with that, we move to Imo State. Wives cry out as 2 Imo men languish over 30 days in Nigerian army custody. So from Enugu, we move to Imo State, to a painful story in Imo State. 2 men, Chimampa Nnorom and Madueke Okereke, had been detained by soldiers at the 34th Artillery Brigade, Obinze, for more than 30 days, all because of a fight with a soldier's brother. Their wives, Uzoshi and Rachel, said their husbands were beaten, accused falsely, and locked up without trial. Uzoshi lost her pregnancy after being flogged by soldiers when she tried to visit her husband. The soldiers, she said, stormed her home, beat her, and claimed They were searching for guns but found nothing. Her words, because of the flogging I suffered, I had miscarriage. I had two children, and my husband doesn't even know I lost the pregnancy. Another wife, Rachel, said her husband wasn't even at the scene of the fight. He only followed his in law to make peace, yet he was arrested, accused of being a cultist, and detained without trial. Mkpamkpa ndị amị na-eme n'ala Igbo. Mkpamkpa ndị amị na-eme n'ala Igbo. You know, this is a heartbreaking story because it shows what happens when power is abused, when the uniform that should protect people becomes a weapon of oppression. What do you think? Now, let's face it. Too many times we have seen cases like this. A soldier or a policeman using their uniform, their position to settle personal scores, to intimidate civilians, and to silence justice. What happened in Obinze is not just a family problem, it's a national shame. How can two men be locked up for over a month without court charges? How can a pregnant woman be beaten until she loses her child and nothing happens? People in authority, take note. Something has to be done. This is not just an emo story. It is a story of how ordinary Nigerians were treated or are treated when they have no connection, no influence, and no power. You talk about a governor, people in authority, uniformed men, you talk about them, they pick you up. Normally, if you pick somebody up and the person, you consider the person as a criminal, take the person to court, charge him to court, try him before 24 hours. But that is not the case. A governor in Southeast, I'm using Southeast because I've seen things like that. If you speak against a governor in Southeast, they will tell security operatives to pick you up and detain you by themselves first. They are the law. Can you imagine? A lawyer is currently being held in Imo. And this might be what has given these soldiers the courage to do whatever they like. The lawyer criticized Opposodema and he's being held. I'm telling the Nigerian army, respect is earned, not forced. Your image is built by how you treat the weak, not how you suppress them. And for Governor Hope Uzodinma and human rights activists, this is your test. Anyway, the governor who is picking up people who opposes him, who criticizes his government, I don't know how he will handle this. You cannot be silent while citizens are detained without law or justice. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If this kind of abuse continues, people will lose faith in their government and the uniform that is meant to protect them. Let's get to story 3. This is an interesting story. APC will apply votes, not federal force, to take over Abia. This is according to Benjamin Kalu, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. You know, we are approaching 2027, another election season, gubernatorial, presidential. And just like in several states in Abia, politics is heating up. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, says that the All Progressive Congress, APC, will not use federal force to win in Abia 2027. Only voices of the people. But let me ask a question before we continue. What was employed to win election in Edo State? I'm not yet accusing anybody, but what was employed? Did the people win? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. So according to Benjamin Kalu, while speaking to supporters in Umuahia, he said the ruling Labour Party has failed to deliver, accusing it of underperformance. Can you imagine? He's accusing OT of underperformance, despite the higher federal allocations. He said Abia State has received so much allocation. Are you sure that guy is not the guy going to contest against OT? It's like they're telling OT, I'm feeling all this personal, maybe they're telling OT, join APC, because we saw earlier videos where he was telling OT that he cannot be a Speaker of the House of Representatives and watch Abia State being ruled by another party. Can you imagine what he's telling a governor as if his position, if not by rigging, can anybody remove OT? The only way OT can be removed in Abia State is if the election is rigged. According to the so-called Kalu, it is time for change. And he's trying to tell us it is through ballot, not through intimidation. Can you imagine? APC, do they do election? We saw what happened in 2023 election. Did your president win? Hmm? So it is quite an interesting one. Mm. In Nigerian politics, we often hear promises like this: we won't rig, we will win with votes. But the real test is in action, not talk. We know these people. Um, Whatever rebranding this guy is giving to APC's image in Southeast, he should remember that it's a region where the party has struggled to gain trust because of past tensions, insecurity, and perception of bias from the federal government. On a normal day, do you think APC can win any state in Southeast? So the deputy speaker is positioning APC as a peaceful alternative, a party ready to win by merit, not by force. Somebody will say, however, the big questions remain. Can Abians trust APC to deliver what has others have failed to? Let us be honest. Abia State has suffered leadership fatigue. Many citizens feel that despite huge allocations, the state infrastructure remains poor, with decaying roads, unpaid salaries, and unemployment. The people are tired of slogans. They want visible results. So whether it is APC, it is Labour, or PDP, the truth is Abians don't want noise. They want progress. If Carlo and his team can show genuine plans for youth empowerment, job creation, and economic growth, then maybe the people will listen. For now, with OTD, I don't know how the amount of convincing you will do. It is still politics as usual, and the people are watching closely.
This will be the last time that a Labour governor will govern Abia State. I say it without missing word. The next governor of Abia State will be APC governor. Yeah, I say it without missing word. So we are friends, yes. We work together, yes. But I will not be number 6 citizen of the country and another party will govern my state. The next election of 2027, the APC governor will be there. I have told him in person, I have told him publicly and privately that APC governor will be the next governor of Abia State. How it will happen, I don't know, but it will happen.
So why are you confident?
I'm confident because we are working hard. I'm confident because my government is working hard. The president is working hard. And Abia will repay the president. Abia will repay the president. A president that have given you Saudi Development Commission will be repaid. A president that is appointing Abians into administration will be repaid. A president that is allowing attraction of dividends of democracy to Abia.
Driving to Enugu, Ebonyi 28-span flyover and tunnel project to attract investors. 28-span flyover. In Ebonyi State, a new phase of development is rising. The government is building a 28-span flyover with a 1-kilometer tunnel at Vanco Junction, part of Governor Francis Nwifuru's economic agenda. Commissioner for Works Stanley Mbam says the project will beautify the city, reduce traffic, and attract investors, especially with the new airport coming up. That airport, before we continue, that airport, I thought the federal government is trying to grab that airport. Is it really busy? I think I had Omahe, it was as if there's a contest. I have to build airport. Well, even though it is not necessary at that point in time, we have to build airport. Enugu has, Anambra has, Imo has, Abia has. We must have. Do you really need it? I had a particular point in time. They are telling federal government to pay and take over the airport. They want the money for other projects, which would have been used for other projects earlier. So Nwifuru is promising that the project will be completed on schedule and meet world-class engineering standard. Ngbano, I wish you the best. Now, this is the kind of story we love to hear. Development, progress, and vision. Because for too long, Ebonyi was known as one of the least developed part of the East. But in recent years, the image has really changed. Despite, even though you don't like Omahe tried. Now, this flyover project is not just about concrete and steel. It's about confidence. It's about a small state daring to think big. But here's a real challenge. How many local youths are working on these projects? Are Ebonyi contractors and engineers getting the jobs, or outsiders taking all the benefits, mainly Chinese companies here? Development must not only be seen, it must be felt by the people. Ndị mmadụ ya enwe kọtụ nke ha n'ime. Now, if managed well, this flyover could transform Abakaliki into a mini commercial hub, linking traders, attracting investors, and reducing traffic chaos. But if mismanaged, it could become another expensive project that benefits only few. Still, credit must be given. The vision is there, and this shows that the Southeast, despite challenges, is still pushing forward. From Enugu's unity to Imo's cry for justice, from Abia politics to Ebonyi's progress, these stories tell one truth. The Southeast is alive, diverse, and determined to rise. We are not people of hate, we are people of hearts. We are not enemies of the nation, we are builders of peace, progress, and pride. Now, if you believe in justice, unity, and progress, share this video and subscribe to Igbo Area TV. Together, we help telling the true story of all an Igbo. Thanks for watching. I'm Azuka OJ, and I say bye-bye for now.